Today you will be looking at graphing and analyzing relationships. In Unit 3, one of the big understandings that you'll have is how we make algebraic connections between graphs, tables, equations, and a story problem and/or pictures. We use these different mathematical representations to tie together problems and show them in different ways. That is going to be your overarching goal during Unit 3. In the first example of graphing and analyzing relationships, we're simply going to look at the graphing piece. Here we have a story problem which states in a certain city the temperature at 5 o'clock a.m. was 40 degrees Fahrenheit. At 8 o'clock p.m. the temperature was back at 40 degrees. The table and graph below represent the situation. Normally you would be given a word problem and you would create a table and a graph. Here they have been given for you so you can see what it looks like. You can see that each point in the table, i.e. 5 a.m. and 40 degrees, is represented in the graph with the same point, 5 a.m., 40 degrees. Also, you can see that the two things we're discussing, our two variables, time and temperature, are the labels on our x and y axis. Time being our x-axis and temperature being our y-axis. Because temperature doesn't just jump from degree to degree and it steadily increases or decreases, we say that this is a continuous situation. It moves continuously as it changes. What I want you guys to pull out of this is how to compare a table to a graph. And again, looking at, for example, 2 o'clock and 60 degrees, we go to 2 o'clock on the x-axis, up to 60 degrees on the y-axis, and we find a point. In this example, I'm going to have you create your own. So in this example, it talks about that Mr. Braychek and Mr. Dunn decided to create a flipped classroom. They knew that they would have to create one video before the year started, and then 3 videos per week after that. Fill in the table and then create the graph to represent this situation. So I've built the table and the graph, which I'd like you to copy down into your notes. Now pause the video, fill in the table, fill in the graph, and play the video again when you're ready to compare your table and graph to the one that we've created on the next slide. Here you can see that because we had to create one video before the year started, at 0 weeks, no school days, there was already one video created. Then each week after that, 1 week it goes up by 3 videos to 4, 2 weeks it goes up another 3 videos to 7, 3 weeks it goes up another 3, and 4 weeks it goes up another 3. We can see each of these points graphed on our grid. At 0 weeks, we're up to 1 video. At 1 week, we're up to 4 videos. At 2 weeks, we're at 7 videos. At 3 weeks, we're at 10 videos. The point of 4 weeks and 13 videos would be way up here, and so it did not quite fit on our graph. Now let's look at how we analyze graphs. Analyzing graphs is simply being able to look at the graph and answer questions based on that graph. I want you to pause the video, answer the questions down here in purple, and then when you are finished, hit play and see if your answers match up with those on the next page. Here we can see that on our first question, between what 2 times did the temperature have no change, we can see that between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. there was no change in the temperature. On our second question, at what times did the temperature, was it at 50 degrees, we can see that at 50 degrees we were there at 8 a.m. and it also looks like halfway between 2 and 5, so about 3:30 p.m. On the right here it says after how many weeks would there be 7 videos created, so we go to 7 videos, go over to our line, and we see that at 2 weeks there would be 7 videos created. The second question was, by week 1, how many videos would have been created? And so we go to week 1, look up at our graph, and see that 4 videos would have been created by then. This is pretty much all we're looking at when we say we are graphing and analyzing graphs. Please have these notes and be ready to work tomorrow in class practicing this skill.